Good evening, Free Enterprise fans, and welcome to the finale of Free Enterprise Legacy Season 2. I am Entry Dave. I am joined in the booth by our restreamer Scala Kitty, our tracker Dubward, and my co-commentator Deathlike. How are you doing tonight, Deathlike?
Need more Z's in my life, not just the Zeromas.
Oh yeah, I feel you on that. Speaking of Z's, our last two meta objectives were given to our runners because we wanted to see what they did and see what they were. So World's Fastest Paladin was finished in under 57 minutes and 16 seconds. That time being relevant because that is the current world record for Paladin percent held by community member Rivers McCown.
Yeah, that's a pretty good time. I can't even imagine doing any sort of speed run. I would just kill all the things, and usually that speed run usually requires the 64 door glitch, which is pretty interesting.
That is the full speed run. Paladin percent is just get up ordeals.
Oh, right. Paladin run. That's a pretty interesting run. I mean, the World Gauntlet actually becomes something of interest.
Eddie gets to do work there with the Dancing Dagger.
Yeah, the Dancing Dagger OP. That's what it is.
And the other objective was a flag best served cold, which you need to get revenge on the seed by finishing half an hour behind the other restreamed racer. And these two flags, these unlock Vanilla Agility from World's Fastest Paladin and Vanilla Z from a flag best served cold.
Yeah, so since we have a Sea Hero, Vanilla Agility will override that. But since Cecil will not appear in the seed, we'll just have our default anchor, and it could be Rydia, I guess. But then she's gaining levels, I guess. So that doesn't make a difference. It does. Yeah, Vanilla Agility overrides Sea Hero, so...
That is correct. And as you said, Cecil is certainly not appearing in the seed, so... Rydia will be gaining levels. She's not going to be a terribly good anchor with the force level gain.
Well, we'll hope... I mean, if you want an anchor, we'll hope for a Tella or Sid. Should be a good substitute. I'm not... but we have the big danger flags. We have K-Main, Moon, and Trap, plus Unsafe. So where the Blarg shows up, or Val, or Funny, or Resident Funny Man, yeah, they'll show up in root spots.
I would like to point out you're thinking of Be Unsafe.
Oh, then
K Unsafe means the Moon can have underground access.
Oh, that's even twisted. That's more twisted than I thought.
And it looks like a Kane is joining our Rydia to start things off.
We got this solid Betrayer. Good enough.
And those Zeus Rages are nice. That's going to pretty much handle the entire overworld.
Yeah. We also get the Baron Key, so we'll be right here, not too far in the future.
I don't believe the flags are supposed to get. Distinct 5 is on, so when we say hoping for a Tella or a Sid, we are hoping for them. We now know 2 of the 5 characters in this seed.
Yeah, that and no dupes, so we can't have another Rydia or another Kane. We get what we get, and hope you like it.
Judge Joe immediately landing might be thinking of taking that Baron in with the 99 Zeus Rages.
It could be a bold plan, but the thing with shops being wild, we might want to take a look at least what's available to us. The Vent Sword is always a solid buy too. Hey, it's a Betrayer on the mountain with which leg? Oh, it's quarter leg.
And Rybon deciding not worth the effort. Not going to get a character out of this.
Well, you wouldn't gain a character since no dupes are on, so wouldn't be worth the time. At least the knowledge is better than nothing. So
Judge Joe finding that's a required Baron in.
yeah, let's give it, and that might not be the most appealing quite yet. I mean, the mystery is usually what's after the spot with Bahamut in it. So right now, it's kind of a risk. Probably want to do something easier, like what Rybon's doing, which is Antlion. The Antlion spot anyway. So.
Rybon just finding Mylon Z. The elements are out in force early this seed.
Yeah, it's also the fun thing about Mylon is Kain is natural with his spears are perfect for it. The fun fact, so Mylon is weak to fire and holy.
Joe is going to take the Baron in.
Right. Poison. Oh yeah. Radia's vitality is actually pretty low, so that's why poison is reacting quite a bit faster than you'd expect. Don't know why Radia deserved a nuke to the face, but there she goes.
Dragons are temperamental.
Well, I mean, we also gave her the name. I mean, Judge Joe gave her the name Blarg, so I mean, it's perfect, right?
It's fitting.
She got Blarged. And it's not even Wyvern. So one of the things about Kain, well, Kain's weapons have the essentially effectively air or projectile property, which is effective against Mylon. So even if Kain had, let's say, a Blizzard Spear, where normally ice, he absorbs ice. Since you're taking advantage of the projectile weakness, that would still override the resistance part, and that comes with a nice reward. White Spear.
Yeah, that White Spear would have been fantastic against Mylon Z. Oh wait,
it's fine. The sad part is that the White Spear, lesser known, it's not effective against undead. It's effective against spirits, and there are not too many spirit monsters, let alone bosses.
Yeah, the only time you're really going to see spirit bosses is if Alt Gauntlet shows up at a few choice locations. I believe Ordeals, the Alt Gauntlet no one ever wants to see in Sealed Cave.
I think Alt Gauntlet is a nice reprieve from the monotony. Although Alt Gauntlet, the regular Gauntlet has one more fight, so it's kind of don't know how that
does.
It's kind of weird how that goes, but I can't. I just remember, hey, they exist.
And it's always sad times when you see the Tendril 2 fighters show up and it's, oh, I gotta go through 6 of these now.
At least with when you normally have when you're dealing with regular, effectively a lot of them are just like regular enemies which don't have the boss pit, which is probably the best thing that you can take advantage of. So it's kind of like Alt Gauntlet, except not as scary. Unless we have the other on the, I forget which bit was where where bosses don't have to worry when where the boss bit are applied on them, which probably make it a worse time. Does that actually apply to All Gauntlet?
I'm not sure if All Gauntlet gets a boss bit. I know they get stats from the. They might with no free bosses on.
It's just something I just can't remember. Oh well. And hey, the spell we're supposed to have, we ideally would have before a CPU fight. And in the vanilla game, most people tend to miss it, but if you take advantage of it, CPU is a bit more trivial. Although I don't think not everyone is a fan of the wee woo music.
And I consider Souls to be one of the songs of my people.
I just call it free healing. It's the best part of the healing is it doesn't care if the monster is undead. That is a biggest benefit from Scythe. Although, go ahead.
Yeah, Judge Joe's now debating whether or not Elem's going to be worth taking. Rybon is through the CPU.
I would, if you want to do elements, it's just for the XP. The dupe cane is like the downside of the whole bit. So I would probably side with Rybon's decision to skip that altogether, though.
I would agree there only because the elements split XP, so you're not even getting the full amount at that spot.
Yeah, I don't even know how that spot is calculated. On the Mom Bomb spot, you have the Mom Bomb and the 6 bombs. Well, 3 gray bombs and 3 regular bombs. That's I don't want to do the math, but I'm sure there's a formula, and I'm sure I just deal with it.
I am a little curious that we have not seen a Zeus Rage fly yet.
Maybe they forgot. I don't know. Right now we're just using it for to save it for Kanazo. I mean, that's the only reason why you keep those things around.
Zeus Rages do fairly respectable damage, especially early game. It's basically a lit 2, 6 rolls, I think? 4 rolls, 8, somewhere around there?
No, it's 8 rolls. It's always 8 rolls, and split damage is ignored because it's kind of treated like Quake. The thing about items is that they're kind of like specialized spells. They're not even like based off the actual spell. They can be anything.
So in that case, it's an 8 roll lit 2, which means against no magic defense, it's doing a minimum of 500 damage.
Yeah, it's a solid play early on, but maybe just forgot. And just like you have all of it. It's like, why don't you use it?
Rybon gonna try his hand at this Mob Bomb.
So when the thing about Mom Bomb is once it gets to the exploding phase, you can just stop doing damage to it and let it just disappear.
And this would be a perfect time for one of those Zeus Rages to come out right after the explosion. I think Rybon's thinking the same thing here.
So normally Karate is at this spot and has no magic to speak of. So not concerned about the damage, not worried about surviving, and especially there's no XP at this spot. So but that doesn't even matter because Radia is the hero, so it makes no difference.
Exactly, and this is why this spot was enforced, because with her being the hero, this should be the only extra one in the seed, and finding her is an objective. And that will be objective number 3 lit up for Rybon. Yeah,
so it looks like we're gonna do Baron Basement unless we want to really do a cheeky Zot check. So I think we're just just for fun, you might as well check the shop, which is probably the best thing to do, given a shop. I think we have S Wild on, so pretty much anything. I mean, we've seen I think we saw Adamant from Judge Joe's screen, which pretty much anything can be bought. The best, whether it's Adamant armor or the Vesper, but Cecil's on the seat, so we'll just go settle for Adamant armors if we ever get the money to collect on it.
With Team Money, it's raising the money is just a matter of opening enough chests.
Yeah, I mean, considering that most treasure chests have a lot of junk, I'll take the money. I'm good. I'm good. Although I think we have quarter shops, so whatever we're selling is for quarter value, which isn't all that.
That is correct.
The worst thing.
It looks like we're down to 2 places where progression can be hiding. We have not found another key item since the opening Baron key. So we're down to Baron Throne or Mount Ordeals.
It's interesting play to do this because this is there's a lot more HP on the Baron route versus the Ordeals route, even though there's 3 bosses, but it's gonna be it might take a bit more time than you'd like, at least for Rybon at this spot.
There's a few strategies Rybon can use to get through this fight. I believe our runner started with some Star Veils.
If you're not relying on Star Veils, the go-to strat is to try to do life locking. I don't think that was achieved here, though. We're gonna probably wait for the purple face, where with that one casts life 1, which doesn't do anything for healing Majora, which is what you want to take advantage of, and try to time it so that when you attack the purple face, it attacks back, Zero attacks back, and then then she goes back to casting life 1 again, which is kind of the reason to do this strat.
I forgot about K-Trap. Judge Joe is going after some trap chests.
It's kind of risky, but since we have all these items, might as well use them.
I agree. It's an aggressive play, but Judge Joe has the items to get through this.
Yeah, I mean, if we get a shop with hourglasses, we need to just buy all the hourglasses we can possibly get.
Judge Joe showing us that using the white spear casts white in battle.
Yeah, it's magic. At least it's instant. But
it's also reliable.
Yeah. And then we get a white shirt for our troubles. I guess that's something.
Radiant can wear the white shirt for now, and he'll keep her alive.
Yeah. So the game effectively classifies young Rydia as a white wizard on top of her other duties as a black mage and a summoner. So that also means that she has access to the silent staff. Not the most useful, but that's actually probably one of the better bonk weapons that are available.
And on a Baron Throne, Rybon showing us that there was a doctor's visit.
Well, the doctor's in the house. So I think that we're going for the double kill. That's good. Especially when you can time it well enough, you don't have to worry about a second phase.
And yeah, Rybon was just a hair short of getting the skip.
Yeah, sometimes some runners prefer to just get rid of Dr. Luge and let Banal just explode, which guarantees that you never face the second phase of the first part of the fight. which can be useful, but it depends on how effective you are, and just you just have to just deal with the fact that someone might just keel over because of whatever HP is at that spot.
The Sylph is not as effective here. Baron Throne does have a decent amount of magic defense.
Yeah, Kinazo spot. Yeah, you need all that. He needs that magic defense for some reason, and maybe it's that's what Turtle's like. All that magic defense.
Judge Doe taking on the Lamia and Coral Chest. Black Cat Chest, sorry.
But it is kind of one of the cat names that they use in the game.
I believe that's what it is in future versions.
Yeah, just there's a cat theme that goes on.
And we see our third character, the Seed. That's an Edge.
We could probably use Edge, put him Edge in the middle spot, given that Vanilla Agility's on for some of these later bosses, but we'll probably could move out of that spot. Because it does help to be faster than the bosses, but when late game, when you're guaranteed to be slower than them, you want your anchor to be the slowest ever possible.
Did you see what Judge Joe got out of that chest?
It's the good stuff.
And Judge Joe found the goods. That's an adamant armor.
Yeah, I love.
And Berserk now saying Rybon has an edge over Judge Joe, but Judge Joe's got some. Judge Joe's got him in a hard place with that armor.
Well, not the key item Rybon wants, so it's time to do the Evelyn checks. Although there's no real incentive to do Mount deals, we're not doing it.
It's still a key item check.
Yeah, but we are looking for looking for the Football Gauntlet. So yeah, that might.
Yeah, 2 bosses and a key item. That's pretty good incentive to go up there.
Yeah, maybe I think we just defer until they fight Atella. I mean that's the only reason you'd actually go up there at this point. Wait. Just check. Oh no, we're not gonna get Atella. We're not. You can only start with Atella, but you can't get Atella. So
there's our underground access.
Hey, that's why all the good stuff is in Evelyn.
Yep, the Mad Ogre chest has it.
Yeah, Mad Ogres they're a lot of fun. I mean, they're both mages and giants.
Yeah, Magma Key came from the Mad Ogres. So, unfortunately for our viewers, no hook route today.
Or maybe it could be. Hey, we still have a boss hunt, so I mean, they could be hiding right then and there just for fun.
But also, fortunately for our viewers, that means we're gonna be longer to find the hook for the rat tail turn-in.
Yeah, at least the chest bosses are in the vanilla spots, which makes we don't have to look for it. We don't have to do a lot of searching. We know where they are. They're not anything new. So less looting to happen. Although we're just gonna get money.
And this will make, say, this will make stuff like, say, going up Tower of Babel easier because you know exactly where the 4 traps are. Rybon getting his adamant armor.
Yeah, there we go. Who can't say no to adamant? Well, actually, the only negative about the adamant is if you ever think of swapping it, it's not a good idea. Unless you have usually something like a protect ring or some dragoon piece of equipment available. It's if you put on adamant on someone, it's gonna stay on them.
Judge Joe finding Avengers for sale in Mist. So the next few fights, Judge Joe's turning this game into an auto battler.
It's Kane's best weapon, even if you don't find a defense sword or white spear or dragoon. It's just like, let Kane swing at things. Don't. Jump is overrated some of the time.
Let Kane be angry.
That's why he has all that angst. That's why he's the betrayer. You have to somehow needs an outlet to release all that rage.
I don't think Judge Joe is going to see the mini bombs here. Kane is going to make sure of it.
Well, oh wait, the agility. The great thing about Avengers that you get 10 to essentially a lot of the damaging, but you also get 10 agility.
Yep.
So given that spot is pretty slow, Kane is just a one-man wrecking crew.
To answer questions, chat, Scarlet Titty, then you get After Years.
Yeah, After Years. Although I think the interlude is it's like a poor man's Final Fantasy IV somehow. I don't know. Just...
Judge Joe getting Rydia, find an objective 3.
I'm convinced that we're gonna probably just bump into all the Bacchus wine to buy at some point. It's just a matter of time.
We know they're somewhere. Bacchus wine have to be available in a shop. It could be on the moon, it could be on the hook route.
Unfortunately, apples, sirens, and life potions are not available for sale. So we're not. If we are doing a grind, you're going to probably do some splunking in trap treasure chests.
With K-Trap on, your grind is usually trap chests.
Given that we have vanilla chests, we're going to do our grind in the bulk of our grind in Sife's Cave, unless you decide to fade it. But given K-Trap is on, we're gonna have to. We need to look for the Darkness Crystal for sure.
Okay, I was gonna say, please heal up before you do this, Rybon.
Yeah, sometimes we just.
We've all been there.
Sometimes you just assume you have a Cecil, everything is gonna be all right. Oh wait.
And you go into the warrior chest with everyone at 1 HP. We've all done that, taken a trap chest and then immediately died. Now Judge Joe's side, Avenger Kane cared not for life locking.
Nope. Rage Against the Cure.
Is that some sort of punk emo cover band?
Sure. I mean, there are bands for Final Fantasy, right? Right? No?
Sure. Yeah, we got the Black Mages. We have who does it now afterwards?
Well,
Rybon finding a key item from the Batman chest. It's the Twin Harp.
Well, I mean, music in the sea can happen, but if darkness shows up before that, well.
Here's hoping the Football Gauntlet is there.
We haven't even seen Water Hag yet.
I want an extended cut of whatever music is in the seed.
Who doesn't? Unless you're on Team Fade Harp, then. I'm on Team Harp Optional. there's well, we need to check to see if that's what we're looking for.
And that is the Alt Gauntlet at the King spot. It's a bit of a sketchy fight right now.
I feel like you need another character in some levels, at least the levels for sure. Given that, I know we're not looking for a clapper grind, but there are clappers, and they are supposedly a grind. So at least that's what I'm told.
I forget, is it that one or the Queen spot that has the Arachnes?
There are actually different things between those two spots?
Yep, they are different Alt Gauntlets.
Oh my god.
And one of them is spiders, and those quakes care not for your adamant armors, elemental immunities.
Well, no one has access to float, and frankly, it doesn't matter. I mean, as long as you have enough HP to survive it, I guess. But we have yet to meet our white mage, and Riot does not count as that, because we need to be able to use something like a Cure 2 at least, or Cure 3.
Well, good news is Kane's got the Avenger. I don't think the others are surviving this fight.
At least it's like, but I think isn't the magic at this spot kind of a little bit spicy?
And it's only getting split 3 ways.
Yeah, that's what makes that's what's. Maybe we barely survive and hope that the boss after
Kane is fine.
Kane. Oh,
Adamant Armor's going to reduce all those fire 2 counters and the glare spell to 1, and the punches to 1. Yeah, Kane can't die here.
It would be sad if what follows is a ha 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 man. Vanilla Golbez.
Well, it would be sad in that Kane would be swinging futilely at it for a little bit.
Yeah, he would just be waving a stick around. That's all he'd be doing.
Rybon, not having the Avenger, is going to take a more measured approach to this fight, using jump, sylph, and darts to not take those fire counters.
Yeah, it's a different approach. It's not better or worse. It's just different.
And if you didn't do Baron Castle, there's another edge.
Well,
unless she double dodges, Rydia's down here.
Oh.
And she does!
There is literally no spell power at this spot, so since Rydia gains a reasonable amount of wisdom and will, which usually makes the bulk of magic evasion. Agility is the other part, but agility is harder to gain, generally speaking. So Rydia is good enough to evade both.
Okay, Rybon will have no problems with the upcoming Ogopogo. Everyone in his party is more than half health, so the double wave will not kill anyone.
Yeah, that's in other spots it would be scary, but since there's so little HP at the spot, it's not so bad.
Dwarf Castle awarding only a ribbon. It's still a useful item.
Yeah,
but it's not progression.
That's also true. I think the ribbon best use is usually for if you have to fight. And we're gonna be doing a lot of trap chest. Might have to actually fight some mobiles in Sife's cave. But the other use, the more common usage is to use versus Evil Wall, where the final phase of Evil Wall is to just do instant death, and ribbons protect against instant death and other various statuses, but instant death is good. It's always a good protection, so you can always have someone survive and not have to worry about losing the battle. Although it might take hopefully you put on someone that can actually do a decent amount of damage.
I've already taken a ribboned Edward to kill Evil Wall. Just zerked him up and walked away for 3 minutes.
Oh, low level edge, because I can see that happening.
No, it was Edward at the ribbon room. So 40,000 HP he had to chew through.
Oh, you mean an Edward? Oh, that's a thought.
We're gonna be here a hot minute.
Yeah.
I want to know what this Rydia is wearing. She is dodging like a champ.
I thought she had a white robe.
Yes, I believe she is wearing a white robe. I think you're correct.
It's I mean, it's not the most tangy, but it's like end game white mage armor, so it's pretty good.
That's right. You can, since she had the white robe on before she grew up, she'll keep it on. You just can't re-equip it if you take it off of her.
Yeah, you can see that happen in the advanced port where Rydia's trial, and not to spoil too much, but for the purposes of the event, she becomes the young child again, and so that it allows her to equip some of her white mage gear if for some reason you actually want to. Most likely you won't. But hey, you can do it if you'd like.
Judge Joe being very tempted by that Bahamut summon. And I will not blame anyone for buying that.
I mean, Joe called her Blarg. I mean, come on. Who'd say no to that?
Dubward, the Avengers should probably get through that gauntlet. I think Kane just one-shots everything.
Yeah.
I'm on finding the package. That's objective number 1, sitting in the Tower of Zot.
Probably might want to...
Tower of Babel, my apologies.
Yeah. Might want to redeem that as soon as possible to get another character, assuming it's not a dupe.
We all know it's Third Edge.
Oops, all edge.
In honor of triangle strategy, we have 3 edges.
Well, there are 3 sides. There are 3 edges. It computes. I think the horror on the Val and the Queen spot could be lingering though.
I think our runners want absolutely nothing to do with that Val.
Oh, this is not. Oh, we don't have case summon, so this is. So that Val is not a thing.
That Val could just sit there.
She can be the queen forever. No one will bother her though. That's a good thing.
I like what Judge Joe's trying to do here. Just come down, do the Fey March, never come back.
Yeah, it looks like, I think if I were to look at this, I think just let Rydia hit things is going to be the play.
It's a good play here. Raiwan finding the pan in the 4th trap chest in Babel.
Well, that saves time. You want to try to defer going to a size cave with the pan as soon as you can. So I don't fault people for trying to try not to double dip, and so in this instance this pays off. But that assumes that pan actually gets you something of the actual value.
Yep, there's the Arachnes.
Oh, you want the Rydia, if only Rydia.
That's what I was saying. Quake cares not for your adamant armor.
It doesn't. And the irony of that is, even if you have float, you can't actually use float in battle with an adamant armor user. For whatever reason, the game developer said, "Hey, you can't use float in battle." Fortunately, you can still use float before battle. Like a lot, even if you had, like, say, the ribbon, where it resists Mini, Piggy, and Toad, you can still cast those statuses outside of battle, which may or may not be useful to people.
So, Rybon, while we're going through this gauntlet, Rybon is taking on some Dark Imps. Unfortunately, we can't coffin them, we can't life glitch them, and we can't hourglass them.
Well, it's even worse. It's not in their it's in the French full spot, so it's a lot of HP in the Dr. Luque spot.
Roughly 7,000 apiece.
That shouldn't be too bad. I don't know what determines their attack power, which boss on that spot, but the punches aren't too bad.
And that spot's mostly just a big old pile of HP.
Well, more cane weaponry. Actually, that would actually speed up the alt gauntlet on that spot when you think of, especially because the dragons with the clappers.
Radia's shooting Artie. She is doing a fine job of it on her own.
Yeah, but as long as she doesn't run out of the arrows, then she's good. When she does, it's like, oh. And there's a lot of fighting, so you'd have to make sure you have an arrow count.
This wasn't quite let Rydia hit things, more let Rydia shoot things that still count. In any case, Judge Joe is through and has objective 2 lit up.
It's not a complete waste, but it's not. Then again, we're not expecting key item at the spot, so Crystal Ring, always good.
And if you're not getting a key item, Crystal Ring is not in anywhere near the worst thing you could find.
It's the tankiest ring in the game, so it's not. It's better than Protect because it has a lot of raw defense. Protect's extra defense comes from Vitality, and usually that is capped out from your fighters, but for mage characters, their Vitality usually does not cap out.
I would argue Protect Ring's bigger advantage over Crystal Ring is the elemental defense.
Yeah, it depends. I guess situationally, they both have their uses. You can Agility Manip and have dragon resistance for Crystal Ring, or you have elemental resistance for Protect. So they both have their uses.
Judge Joe heading down Sylph Cave first. Not a terrible guess, Sylph Cave or Tower. It's a coin flip either way. Just, we know this is not the correct order to do things.
Well, a lot of decisions are made in the order in which you do it. So sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't.
And I won't fault someone for taking this first. If we had some different items, this would save a little bit more time. The toads are weak against ice. I think the Toad Lady's also weak against ice, so that's kind of. Toad Lady's also weak against getting smacked in the face with an Avenger once she toads herself.
Well, it's what this is. Cat Lady came first, right? Cat Lady on The Simpsons. Cat Lady came first, right? This is Toad Lady, so I don't know.
So you're saying this is a case of Simpsons did it?
Probably. I don't know. I mean, I'd have to someone would have to verify something. One of those two things had to have come first. Fun fact about those trees, the dark trees. I don't. They're also mages. Strangely enough.
That makes as much sense as Mad Ogres being mages.
Well, I mean, classic. I think it's based off like the classic Final Fantasy 1. Oh, Stardust.
Yeah, they were mages, so they gave up a good mage stick.
Yeah, love Stardust. It's free. Well, outside of free damage, but it's the rod all black mages love.
Sheila 1 giving us the hook. So at this point, we need a rat tail, we need to find Dark Knight Cecil, and well, we still need to wait 2 Zeramus.
I think Judge Joe's probably contemplating, oh no. Well, outside of unless we do a cheeky flame dock chest check, the best bet is we have to do this. Oh.
This might be Twin Harp.
Oh, okay. We could probably route that in might as well.
Yeah, taking a safety save there. That's a Twin Harp check coming, or a save's coming at the very least.
Yeah, that's a. I mean, sometimes the fastest thing if things go wrong is to have the save in a place where you want to be when things don't go the way you expect, or the things that don't come out that way. So, not the worst.
Rybon's still chewing through these trap chests in very quick order.
Yeah, when you have Rydia with at least a decent AOE, she is pretty potent.
Unfortunately, this cave is not giving up the goods.
Well, there are 7 chests, so I mean, just have to go through it, and it's the grind it's the grind you need anyways. So I can't fault them for just have to be patient.
Judge Joe is bringing us closer to getting an actual music check, so soon we'll have to be quiet and let Bedward place away.
Yeah, there's over 400 songs or something. It's an incredible library at this point.
We are closing on 400.
There's too many. I can't listen to them all.
And we'll be quiet and enjoy the music, everyone. And while we were getting a rendition of Terra's theme, Rybon found both the Darkness Crystal and the Rat Tail.
Scythe Cave pays off, and free Bahamut on the Dark Elf Crystal.
And I believe Judge Joe just bought one, so as a rule of randos, you buy a powerful item, you immediately find it.
Hey, it's the rule. It's the rule of randos. Just like you yeet an Edward and then find the spoon. Same thing.
So at this point, we are merely a Dark Knight Cecil sighting away.
Yeah, Hangman at a lot of those spots might be too painful.
So it's going to come down to just how mean was our restreamer Skull Kitty feeling tonight.
Probably generous. We'll see. So, the fun fact about the Flame Dog chest: there's a specialized battle script for that chest. It's actually very vanilla. It uses fire on that turn and then starts punching. It's kind of it's kind of interesting how sometimes there's some customizations that don't usually get exploited too much from the game's engine.
Oh, and Judge Joe's going to show us what's on our deals. Looking for maybe a Dark Knight Cecil here. Well, Joe has not done Babel, so has not found the package, has not found the Rat Tail and Darkness Crystal inside Sylph Cave.
I mean, ultimately, you just have to make it the calculated play. If you're doing a boss hunt, the most dense checks are would probably include Mount Ordeals.
Yeah, Ordeals has 3 fights that are all relatively quick.
Hey, it's another edge.
We have our triangle.
And today the Dark Elf was in the package, and that's how he burned the town.
You know, 1/3 town's on fire, 1/3's frozen over, and 1/3 is completely shocked.
Yeah. And these lunars are no more. If some other fun fact. Sometimes early in the seed you see the D lunars. When you have access to Star Veils, you late into their script they use breath, and breath is one of the reflectable monster spells. And so when you see that trick happening, it's to pretty much kind of neutralize them by reflecting it back onto the lunars, and they become harmless. The ironic part is that the only monster that doesn't get affected by is the bulbils, which you first see them from. They resist. One of the properties of breath is that when you resist one of the afflictions that they can apply to you, you resist them all.
So Judge Joe showing us the laughing man in the mirror and immediately leaves.
Yeah, we're not coming. But it's kind of appropriate. Well, it's slightly not like where Golbez is in the Dark Knight Cecil, the Dark Knight spot. It's kind of poetic.
To answer something in chat, Tella will not be a character tonight.
Yeah, the flag said he either starts or he doesn't appear in the seed. That's so there is no Tella.
No Tella, no Cecil. The only reason you do ordeals is for the key item check or the boss hunt. Once we saw there was no Dark Knight Cecil there, and the key item was just a glass hat, and you would have to still sit through Golbez's script, it's better to just reset out.
Yeah, no one has time for his laughs.
And his comedy routine gets stale fast.
I mean, he is a one-trick pony. It's kind of... Alright, so I think... So we're gonna... I guess Joe is gonna just find out what item we're gonna find. And unfortunately, it will not be what he's looking for. But what...
It could be the boss he's looking for, though.
Yeah, that could be. So I guess we'll find out soon enough.
And there are still some items I will walk out. A pigtail would be very tempting to walk out of here.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot, you won't say no to another free adamant armor. Especially given this party composition, everyone getting adamant armor is definitely one step closer to not getting easily wiped by Zeromus.
Raimon finding the hook, which we already knew was here, and Pan turn in is the spoon.
What what's this vanilla in my randomizer? What is this? Is this even?
That glass hat item, plague boss, that's a quick reset out.
Well, hey, he's the other guy that likes to count. Bahamut being the other one. Do you think Rybon's gonna do the Eblin check just to see if DKC is in, like, say, the King Queen Eblin spot, because that's been known to be a thing.
It's a good check to make if you're already peeking Eblin for other things. It's still a long walk. I have a feeling Rybon passes on it for now.
That's an interesting decision to take the hovercraft all the way to Severa. Yeah. Not to stop the shopping, but it's like, could go back.
If you're going shopping in Silvera anyway and you're parked on the wrong side of it, it's faster to just take the hovercraft there than sit through an airship hop.
I have not actually timed it.
Airship takes a few seconds to take off and land.
That is true.
The hovercraft is almost instant.
That's also true. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm just like, I've never really timed it.
I was looking at the timer. It was about 2 seconds to take off, 2 seconds to land.
I guess we're doing the Evelyn. At least we're doing the cave Evelyn check for sure.
Might be checking the... Well, this is
character check, yeah.
You could be doing a character check, which isn't a bad idea. We've only seen 3 so far. Maybe grabbing the traps. If you're going to take the traps, you may as well peek the King Queen spot.
Yep.
Because you're already right there.
Yeah. I mean, you got the save point. The side chest is where the trap chest is at. So that's it's pretty much convenient. It's pretty concentrated. So it's not the worst decision.
Jojo picking up all the key items from Tower, deciding to just leave after getting the pan. Also a fun fact. Taking a save.
Yeah. A fun fact: you are not allowed to exit the inventory boss screen when there's a key item.
Hope you have to take the key item. Rybon is taking a whole lot of treasure chests, looking to raise roughly 200,000 GP. I don't know if you saw the weapons shop. There are mosses for sale in Evelyn.
Brian hasn't bought any katanas, right? So, I mean, might be something to do on the way back, right? Not just, I mean, the looting is just for the money to have a down payment on a katana at this point.
True. Well, we had a triangle. We were up to a square of edges.
That's what ninja magic does. It's having so many copies of edge, and not just that, have himself at his own vanilla spot. You know, it's like what, 2 scoops of vanilla, 2, 3 at this point. Hey, I'm starting to lose count.
I don't know. I'm still not convinced these trap chests are randomized. We've had so many scoops of vanilla there. I don't like straight vanilla, so maybe some Neapolitan would be nice. And Judge Joe finds the Dragoon Lance. He decides that's worth keeping.
And you'll never know when you'll need for Alt Gauntlet. Although I think Judge Joe...
Or a Wyvern.
Wyvern has not shown up yet this seed.
Yeah, I was thinking, what dragons has Judge Joe not seen?
There's a... If you really think about it, the Lunar Subterrane has a lot of dragons. Just think about it.
Just like any RPG, the end game is, all dragon.
I mean, 3 out of the 5 bosses are dragons in the Lunar Subterrane. That's a math.
And one's a noodle and the other one's a weird floating eyeball.
Well, I mean, Dragoon Spear has a tick for the plague. I mean, floating enemies. Well, actually, it's not really floating enemies. That's because the visual is the visual is really the lie. It's if they're weak to arrows, they are weak to spears. Simple as that.
Judge Joe is going to turn the pan in. He is still fated to poison treasure, and we know the answer is there.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you want to. In doing the easier checks first before you actually have to do the inevitable grind, inevitable grind. So it's one of the things, like, if you could, like, if I don't want to grind, but if I had to, well, okay.
It's a sand ruby from the Mad Ogres. I believe Rybon will walk that out so he can find his 5th edge.
What's in an edge? Fun fact about Zeus Glove. So Rydia is one of the few mages that can equip the Zeus Glove when she's an adult. There's no real rhyme or reason, but maybe that's just a trading off her all her white mageness. Like, it's just what ends up happening. I mean, she now can lift.
Rydia gets strong when she grows up. That is just some dolls waiting at King Queen.
What was the boss behind dolls?
Lunar Sparkle.
We don't want to. It's probably Blarg at this point, right?
We haven't seen Plague yet, right?
No, we just saw Plague.
True.
We Sealed Cave.
That's right. Plague's in Sealed Cave. Dealers weren't ordeals. Ogopogo was at Dwarf 2.
And
Paledim was... I think we saw Paledim already, so that has to have been Blarg.
Paledim was at Dark Elf. Okay,
right, so that has to be Blarg.
Yeah, no one wants to find out. Not this seed.
What the Witchburn is, it'll remain a mystery.
I'm sure someone will be curious to find out, but our runners will probably not want to. We're looking.
While Judge
Are we looking for
Rybon's
money?
yeah, Rybon's continue his money-raising tour, and Judge Joe is doing some boss hunting, then raising the hoverboat. I'd like to give a shout out to our restreamer Scala for rolling the Dark Knight Cecil hide and seek game. Our tracker Dubward for pushing all the buttons. Our two runners, Judge Joe and Rybon, putting a fantastic show for us. And my co-commentator Deathlike. Make sure to give them all follows.
I'm just here for the race. What are you talking about? Yeah, so yeah, looks like, what is, we're buying in the Masamune. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, Rybon is 200,000 GP for Masamune's.
Gotta go fast. I mean, Judge Joe bought 2 longswords, which probably, at least for the short term, will be beneficial. But when you're essentially putting a down payment just to get the Masamune, I mean, we're gonna be using Edge, and darts aren't infinite unless we find like the Drain Spear store. Which is
Rybon making hard decisions right now. What do I sell to get up to 216,000 GP? Or 212,000, sorry. It's 106, that was 108.
There we did. And there it is.
And there we go. The third best Berserker is now online.
Hey, at least the seed, we don't have to face inventory boss. You have to. I mean, that's like the biggest winner, really, if you think about it. I mean, everything's money. We buy what we need. I mean, we've defeated the inventory boss this seed. Yes? No? No.
Well, I mean, it's never showing up, so I guess it's defeated.
All right. Let's see who's in the bed. Is it a Rosa? Oh well. Great. Oh, like, hey, we can.
The spoon flag's on.
He can. Spoony board is up again. It's awesome. Although it might be reserved for a nap. Like this, I mean, we're kind of reasonably far into the seed where maybe he's just gonna be taking the nap.
We have adamants available. We have a spoon. I'm demanding adamant spoon word.
I think Rybon will make that decision once we see what the moon spot has as a character. I think
At first, Rybon's going to make the same checks we saw Judge Joe make. And when you know you're just on a boss hunt, going for where 3 bosses are is a perfectly reasonable choice.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it'll be a womp. But it's kind of.
We know that. Yeah. We know that. Rybon does not know that.
Probably should have saved before getting up the tower, because I don't know when he last saved.
And hopefully he takes a save before going into the changing room.
Yeah, that will save some time. I mean, at this point, defeating the boss is just hold A to win.
So these Mad Ogres have 254 magic defense. Bahamut doesn't care.
Yeah, what beats high magic defense? Higher spell power. That's the magic. Bahamut has a spell power of 480, which is quite a bit. The next closest is Nuke, which is 400. And when you've ever seen Fu and when you've seen the Dark Elf spot, Nuke still pretty much works. The other spell you try, but at least I'm not really positive about it. Is the Leviathan versus that high magic defense. So Leviathan has a spell power of 280, and it like when you're using it against a high magic defense spot like Dark Elf or even Mad Ogres, it kind of does kind of like triple HP type of damage.
Oh.
Not
Rybon resetting all the way back to Upper Babel.
Yeah, this is what I was afraid of you. Sometimes that moment's like, I need to save. And considering that the only essentially spellcaster that traverses through floors is Rydia, it's kind of at least it's better than the walk.
And making this worse, Rybon hadn't saved since raising all the money for those Masamunes.
Oh, well, I hope he remembers. I might.
Going right back to raise money again.
And there, I mean, you have 4 save spots. You can use them. That's what they're for. There is time obviously spent to save, but that's probably better than redoing things.
This is a point where it probably went faster to just take the Golbez fight rather than do all of this again.
Yeah, especially when you think. Yeah, at that spot, the Dark Cecil spot doesn't have any magic power, so you're not threatened by the magic.
You're also just gonna blast it with a high power Sylph. It can't kill you because you're the only character. Yeah,
you still have to go through the motion of the whole battle script,
right?
Shadow Dragon, but yeah, that spot is practically harmless for a sea hero type of seed.
So Judge Joe's going to find out the news that DKC is not the packaged boss. Still worth checking since you had to burn a village anyway.
Well, you would prevent access to doing the sand route. Doesn't have the sand. Does have a sand.
Judge Joe does have a sand ruby, so
yeah, you have
Judge Joe will. Yeah, if Judge Joe wants his Edward, he will have to sit through this boss.
Yeah, so it might be a thought to if before you do the package check, you can do the sand ruby check. If you don't, that might save some time, depends on who you're getting.
Or have Kane do about 5 times boss max HP in one swing.
Yeah, Angry Kane does work. He doesn't get the best swords. That's why he's so angry. That's what it is.
You're always playing second fiddle to the hero. That would make anyone angry.
Well, they also designed Kane around his jump skill, so it's unfair to Kane when he's essentially required to jump to get to max out his potential, and even then. When you see him with the Avengers, just let him be angry. I think he doesn't have those options.
Speaking of being angry, Judge Joe found some Bacchus wines for sale in Kaipo. I'm not sure if Rybon picked those up.
I think he might have seen them. Not too sure. Don't not like you need that many. Oh, doing package.
Rybon's picking up the Edward again. That was also in that save.
Yep. Save early, save often.
So Judge Joe, I think, is contemplating what he's missed.
We know that darkness is in the depths of Scythe Cave.
Or is knocking the Edward down. Edward's going to be an anchor.
Yeah, I think Rybon was thinking the same thing. And despite having the spoon and the spoon flag enabled. That could still change on whoever's on the moon.
Looks like Judge Joe is getting ready to take the self traps, getting ready to set up at RA1. And getting the adamant armor on her.
Looks like Joe's consumed all the Artemis arrows, which kind of unfortunate.
They did their job. They lasted until Joe found the Dragoon Sphere.
Yeah. So, yes, your hero is on double. The thing about it is that we have vanilla agility, and vanilla agility overrides that. So that's why we're not considering Rydia, where we need an anchor, and we can have anyone be anchored, not just Rydia.
So Rybon's getting ready to take on this gauntlet. Should have very little difficulty at these levels.
Yeah. Well, today Rydia is going to be 2/3 white mage.
We still don't know who the 5th character is. It could be hidden on a giant.
At this point, if it's a Porum, it'd be funny.
Unfortunately, these ghosts are going to get their fire casts off. Oh no, with 6 enemies you can just barely squeeze the Bahamut cast in. It's the others you can't.
You need the run buffering, which is it's a interesting bit of tech. So instead of when you use the tech, it allows the ATB to fill while the dialogue box. You still have a delay, like the ATB moves for the enemy a little bit, but for you it benefits you more since it doesn't stop. I mean, Final Fantasy IV is perfectly well coded.
So hopefully Judge Joe is watching his MP, because I think he only has enough for 3 Bahamut casts.
I assume some
4.
ethers? Was some ethers bought somewhere along the line? Because that would...
And Rybon clearing out the gauntlet.
Shouldn't be too long. With Kane with the Dragoon Spear is gonna make it easy work of the clappers. When we get to them.
I like this ordering from Judge Joe, taking the ghost chest first with the Bahamut casts. Then I can just turn around, take the 2 centipedes with a virus.
Yep. MP conservation. Yes. Although just an angry Kane is good enough. Where did we find the Avenger?
It was for sale in Mist.
Oh, okay. And there's not likely chance that Rybon's gonna make a shopping trip to Mist for that. It's just at this point, it's like, if you're there, you could do it, do the shopping. If you're not, it's not happening.
I don't know if Judge Joe did not have MP restoration, or has decided 2 key items is good enough, I'm leaving. Or realizes he's on a boss hunt now.
Yeah, I mean the key item, we know that from Rybon that there is no key item in that chest, so it's not gonna punish Joe for sure. So that's at least one battle not to worry about.
And on Rybon's side, we are... Is that an Avenger or defense sword Kane swing? I think that's defense sword.
It's defense. I thought I was almost sure we had the Dragoon Spear available. Maybe just...
No, Rybon picked it up too.
Because that would make quick work. Defense is fine.
Judge Joe picking up objective number 5, Rat Tail. Rybon getting number 2, the Football Gauntlet. Both our runners are now down to just a Dark Knight Hunt.
Well, it has to be on the moon.
We are down to Giant Spots, all the Lunar Spots, and Zot 2.
Yeah, Zot 2. Yeah, Zot 2.
Or Zot 1. I don't believe either runner checked it.
Well, I think... I'm sure one of them did the flavor, but probably didn't do all the way, though.
And Dubward pointing out in chat, our tracker Dubward pointing out Odin as well. Forgot about the Odin throne.
I mean, Baron was like half an hour ago for sure. That was like we were just talking about Jura and forget the boss behind that. But yeah, at that point you would have not thought about it. But there's a possible, maybe lingering, maybe more likely forgotten that was an option on the table.
I agree. Odin spot DKC would be amazing. It would be kind of funny.
Moon Haunted? Yeah, that's... I like moon dives just for the challenge. Not so much for the if the boss is there. Just I would just call it mastery of the randomizer is early moon dives. At least to me, maybe I'm not sure what you think of it, but that's early moon dive is always the challenge.
They can be fun trying to pull them off. Judge Joe is shopping for something. I'm not sure what.
Maybe we just prepare for the Odin spot. I don't know. Hey, the great thing about cave value is it's like the sealed cave, or well, not sealed cave, in the sense that you go to the end and then you see the boss, and then you can decide whether you want to take whether you want to take that on.
It's just Odin there. That would have been a very rude spot for TKC to show up.
Yeah, a lot of the funny thing about when they were trying to balance the games, that why do you need to balance for a spot that doesn't normally punch? Well, it's great for a randomizer because we use those values, and those spots typically punch really hard.
And we found our 5th character.
Well, I think Sid, it would actually be a better anchor. We can actually take advantage of essentially the glass cannon Edward at this point.
If we can find a second adamant armor for him, sure.
Ryvon is thinking on the same wavelength, looks like. I have kind of forgot to mention one of the flag settings is the Nike flag, where characters basically get a weapon and have no armor, which it typically doesn't really matter because a lot of the starting character equipment is junk.
A lot of characters honestly get an improvement from this.
In terms of weapon, yeah, because an early dancing dagger is pretty valuable. It's free magic, free damage that a character like Edward would have some trouble dealing damage with normally with a physical attack.
And Edward can start with a bow and arrows. Kane can start with something better than a spear. Plus 4 pieces of iron armor you don't have to throw away later.
Hey, at least it's not rod or staff. So it looks like just gonna leave it to Kane and Edge to do the work. Although Edge is taking a quick nap because Warlocks do damage when you don't if you don't silence them. Some fun fact: carries has this attack called Hug, and it applies effectively a Cure 4 and Stone on the same target. This is kind of cool if you have Stone protection, which is already available in the Adamant armor and the Ribbon, which is common. But other armors include the Aegis shield and the Gaia shield. Those. So you can still actually get full Q4 level healing without being stoned, and that is a cool thing. On top of that, if you charm a carry, they use Hug on themselves or their teammates, and those are free kills on the table.
So Judge Joe showing us the behemoth grind.
Behemoth grind is a simple grind. If you just imagine a monk, and it just counters everything you punch them with. Yeah, that's a behemoth.
And you do want to have a fast anchor for this, so you're not taking their normal physical attacks.
Yeah, behemoths are super slow. I think they're almost imp level slow. As long as you don't have a Sid level anchor, you're fine. And looks like Antlion has its moon journey.
Here we see the Antlion in its natural habitat.
I honestly don't think that meme will go away. I mean, it's just there's just something.
It won't go away because it keeps showing up here.
Yeah. What is it with the randomizer deciding? Hey, Antlion on the moon. It's a great place. Sightseeing. That's.
Oh, Judge Joe getting a drop from that behemoth. It wasn't the rarest drop, but strength ring is still nice.
It's their semi-rare, it's headband, strength ring, power shirt, and then Avenger. It's something.
And Rybon is taking the bosses here, taking a grind on them as well while looking for DKC.
I guess Eddie doesn't want the XP. That's okay. There's still next fight.
Since you asked Beowulf, I'm no nature documentary person, but I'll give it a shot. Here we have the majestic antlion in their native lunar habitat.
Yep. Its claws. It likes the moon sparkles. It shines better on the moon. So I guess we're doing top down maybe at this point, or we're gonna do.
It was easy enough to check the first one.
Yeah, it's there's something about being, especially when just looking for the last boss that you can do it in any order. It's not like we're doing a key item check where typically if you're doing a key item check, you would be going into the ribbon room where you get 2 key items for the price of 1 boss.
And now I think about it, there is one more spot we forgot to mention when thinking about where DKC could be hiding. Super Cannon Room.
Yeah, we haven't gotten the tower key yet. Tower key. Well, the Earth Crystal and the tower key. We have got the Earth Crystal from the Antlion, so we're just gonna have to. We're hoping for. We haven't even checked the hairdryer chest. I think we've skipped that. At least. So that, but this is gonna be the grind. Gonna see some Bimmy and Jimmy dragons. There we go.
Put on the Dragoon Spear and swing away at them.
Yeah. The blue dragon is kind of special in that, yeah, you have a dragon killing weapon, but it's also resistant to projectiles / arrows / spears. So it effectively you're only going to do double damage on the blue dragon. When it whacks the red dragon, it does full 4 quad damage.
So only 7,896 damage.
Hey, gotta go fast, gotta berserk.
And another adamant armor. Come on, Rybon, you know where that's got to go. That wasn't it.
Well, I think there's a merit if Edward doesn't reach the point where he has enough HP to survive. You want Edge is more reliable at that point.
I'll agree with you on that. I just want the meme.
Oh no, I agree with like you want that glass cannon of a bard to do all the damage.
I want the Spoonward meme.
But I'm not. It's kind of. I mean, you stop checking the treasure chest. I guess we're just doing the boss hunt, which is kind of what we want to do, anyways.
The Bibby and Jimmy was probably just for XP because it's a lot of XP.
Well, I got 2 dragons. I mean, that's a lot of XP.
And Rybon was going through those guards with no free bosses. That's just gonna be a slog to get through.
Yeah. And it's kind of like they're kind of nuisances at that point.
40,000 HP of Karate Man? No, thank you.
Yeah. So the 2 D-lunars at the spot combined will usually max out the either max out or almost max out the HP. So
no, they only have 20,000 apiece.
Oh, was that really that low? Maybe I'm just I'm missing. I just forget the numbers. It's like
You're probably Elements.
No, Elements is bulky because Elements is Elements. No, that's like I'm thinking like you just forget like when you sometimes you do that spot with the natural burr. It's like they have like no HP when you have the burr available.
That's true. So we are with an evil wall at Ogopogo, right? Our runners are going to be glad that's not required. Maybe.
I think is that the last of the hourglasses Rybon has? Because this is.
Oh, Rybon picked up an hourglass from Antlion or somewhere. Wasn't Antlion.
Yeah.
Antlion, the Earth Crystal. Where did that come from?
I thought that was the Antlion spot, wasn't it?
No, Earth's Crystal came. Yeah, it was a trap chest. Antlion was the hourglass. Earth came from the trap chest. That's what it was.
Oh, it's probably the trap. It was the trap chest before the Antlion.
So Antlion had the hourglass. That's the hourglass Rybon just threw. That's a lot of money.
A burr for a character not in the seed at all.
That's exactly the worst tier 8 to hit.
But we can buy an adamant armor with it, right? Yeah. Down payment.
It's a down payment on one. Judge Joe abandoning the moon. I think he's about to check the Earth Crystal.
It's interesting gamble. I mean, we don't know what's in those spots, and they should be relatively trivial. And they shouldn't. So I can't fault for the gamble. I mean, especially if you think you're behind.
If you're gonna gamble, you either gamble on this or you gamble on Giant. Rybon's showing us Officer Soldiers, so the not free bosses are all on the moon. And Rybon will be following Judge Joe's footsteps up to Zot.
It's an interesting decision. I mean, the only other thing we really need access to is the tower key. Like, just because that is literally gating a boss. So that's the only concern of avoiding doing the rest of the moon. Well, I guess we'll have to find out.
You have access to all but one boss spot. I think the play is check all those boss spots and then if you find out Super Cannon Room, well, so be it.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those racing things where you just kind of die on the just go with or die on the decision you make on what you decide to fade or / last location.
So you don't know that tower key could be in hairdryers. It could be in, say, the double red dragon chest. It could be behind that evil wall Ogopogo, which is not as scary as it looks because of adamant armors.
It's a slog when you have to go through like 9 treasure chests in the lunar subterranean that have pretty decently sized monsters in them. Yeah, you're very reluctant to try to clear out the chests unless you really have to.
I agree with this, Blake. You have access to all but one boss. Check them.
Yeah. I still try to leave the, like say, Rybon just skipped the flame duck chest, but I would, even though I think we know it's not there, but just checking it for the sake of making sure that's one, easy key item check off the table. It's right there.
I see what you're saying. Check for tower key.
Yeah. Because that would be the worst last location it's in. Well, the betrayer was tied up. Well, at least a clone. So I guess that's turnabout as fair play, as they say.
Sid's getting revenge for being imprisoned in Baron, and that is our Dark Knight Cecil at Zot 2.
The play, of course, the Earth.
You need to take the first Warlock carry chest to get the Earth Crystal to get to this.
Hey, at least it's a convenient on the way check relative to a lot of the other checks.
Oh well. I need to check the flag set real quick. We'll see if Scala was nice and gives the key item from this, the pass from this as a key item.
Let's hope. Of course, there'll just be more time before a specific fight. And is it too early for asking the flags, or just, I don't know, too early?
Hey, we have access to all the boss spots now. We can find our DKC.
Well, crisis averted. But that means we're gonna have to walk all the way down.
Yep, one more trip to the moon, one more trip down the LST. Also, I would have been horribly behind if I were running this race because I would have gambled on Giant.
Well, I mean, definitely be a dupe character on that for sure. Maybe we haven't even seen D-Mist at all. See it, have we? I don't think we have.
We've not.
That might have been one of the spots on the Giant. Can you imagine that?
Oh, 65,000 HP of D-Mist? Yeah, I can imagine it. It's fun. Builds character.
It does. Or put it on the CPU spot, so it goes even faster.
Oh, that tears down character. I mean, you seen how hard that spot hits?
Boatload. Because again, things that don't normally punch at spots don't get balanced.
And that spot doesn't normally punch, nor does it normally magic, so it does both absurdly hard.
The magic actually is needed for the accuracy from like both the CPU and the.
Oh, you're right. Globe 199. It needs magic for that.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't do 999 on its own. It needs all the spell power, even though it doesn't need that much. But it's like it needs something like what was the number? Like an 8 or 9 multiplier.
Oh, they just gave it all the multipliers to make sure it kills.
Yeah, make sure spell murders target. Just stuff it with the max large spell power number. Yeah, great idea.
Yeah, they decide you're not getting out of this one. Judge Joe's gonna take a little bit more of a grind for Zeromus. Might be just getting ready to nuke. Rybon is marching down the LST. I assume Rybon's going to go straight to the fight and will be the first one into Zeromus.
Yeah, I'm assuming we're trying to get Rydia an adamant maybe, or at least enough XP to nuke. I think that's the only thing I can
that fight should have. Looking at HP, I didn't see level, but that's about nuke HP.
I mean, the treasure chest was on the way, so it probably wasn't the worst thing.
Rybon making the final save and starting his approach down the lunar core. Yeah, that got ready to exactly 50.
I mean, given that this team is just essentially a group of berserkers with Rydia, I mean, having Rydia do nuke is like weird noise from everyone else.
If we are getting some flags in chat. You mentioned wanting some Z's earlier. Here they come.
Yeah, I do. I do need to maybe take a nap after this because it's a long day. At least every day feels long. But no, it's that Z flag because we want Zeromus.
Yes, we do, and we can't move her from this spot, so we let him dress up. He has more than 500 different characters he can cosplay as at any given time. So at this point, there is a question we still need to ask before the seed ends.
Yeah. Whose butt are we going to kick tonight?
And we're going to be seeing this butt revealed side by side. We've got a close finish going on here.
Yeah. I'm kind of excited to see what's Z hiding. A lot of butt questions have to be answered.
And oh man, Zeromus' cosplay must have broken or something. It's just showing guys himself tonight. You know, it happens. Sometimes your costume just fails at the worst possible time, and you gotta show up as yourself to the party.
Well, that and we didn't check the Z flag. It's vanilla Z, and so there is no cosplay.
I'm going with it failed. He had a little malfunction.
That is just as acceptable as anything else in this seed.
The vanilla Z flag was turned on from the flag best served cold meta objective.
Well, the third of the time Rydia Azura does her thing.
We have 2/3 of a white mage in both parties. And both our runners are handling this about the same way. Edward getting high rolled by that big bang.
Yeah, just by that much.
Adamant armor would have saved him
It would.
because it would have been 80 less damage because of the 20 magic defense.
Yeah. Usually Big Bang doesn't. You really don't care about the armor as much as you're hoping that the magic evasion helps out. When you equip the adamant armor, your spell multiply, your magic evasion multiplier can go up to 3 for one. Well, not 3. It's actually 2. Sorry, 2 more. In addition, from half of it from agility, so it's every 32 points of agility, and for from wisdom and will, you need combined every 32 points combined with wisdom and will. So 16 of each from like vanilla Tella is 1 spell multiplier, spell magic evasion multiplier. Sorry.
We do have 6 participants running in this race tonight, and we have not had a finisher yet. So we could be seeing, a neck and neck race for first place tonight.
Yes, the end is nigh.
For Legacy as a whole, this is the ultimate race of season 2 of Legacy.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun guessing a lot of what the hints meant for the meta objective.
So Scala Kitty and Zoe Vermillion put together a fantastic little community game with guessing the objectives. I think everyone on Rybon's side dodged that Meteo.
Usually Edge does not dodge that Meteo.
And that is a crack bang boom. Rybon has finished this race in first place with a time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 5 seconds. GG's to Rybon.
Yeah, GG's. If you gambled on that Earth Crystal, you saved a lot of time.
Anyone who went there first, good job to them. Judge Joe, this will probably be the last big bang Joe sees, so we'll be right behind him.
Yeah, it should. The thing about the nerf Big Bangs is that that was
Judge Joe's finish, 40 seconds behind Rybon.
GG's to Judge Joe. The nerfed Big Bangs have a spell multiplier of 4, and that's you think it's a lot, but it's compared to the full Big Bang, which is normal. I think it's a multiplier of 9,
8 or 9, depending on which one.
I think there's a 10 if you use summon in the wrong wrong sequence, and that's a horrible time.
Yeah, correct. If you summon at the wrong time, the virus counter is 10 rolls.
Yeah. So Rydia looks worse in the Z fight. That's why you want to learn Nuke, and Nuke is so much more efficient.
And we're joined by both of our finishers, Rybon and Judge Joe. GG's to both of you on a well-run race.
Thank you.
We'll start this off. What were your thoughts seeing the starting characters as Rydia and Kane? Knowing that was only Snake 5.
I mean, those are good characters. I am the one who chose to add Start Rydia to the potential starts. And I like just getting a Bahamut from one of the stores and using that for a lot of moon stuff if need be.
I was very happy to see the Kane. I was worried to be, someone useless like Edward early on, and we'd be stuck with Team 90 HP with not a whole lot of options to go about. So Kane was probably one of the best characters we could possibly see as a partner for Rydia there.
Yeah, Kane definitely carried the seed for me for the most part. Just bought an Avenger, used the one adamant I found, and he just sat there swinging at everything.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Where was the Avenger?
Castle Eblin.
I think he bought it in Mist.
Oh, the Avenger, sorry. Avenger was in Mist. There was Adamants and Avengers there.
Just after I was burning Village Mist, I'm like, maybe I should have checked the weapon shop in there. Nah, it doesn't matter. It's probably nothing important.
In your defense, you had just done a whole lot of fundraising and bought 2 Masamunes around that time.
I had to do that twice, actually.
Where were Masamunes?
They were in Cave Evelyn.
Ah.
But yeah, so it turns out it's very important to remember where you saved last.
Yeah. It's also important to remember where Ashura is.
Yes. You end up finding her now.
Yeah, Ashura was, whatever the village right near the the rat tail turn-in is. So...
Yep,
okay, that's what I was going to ask about. I saw before you took the moon, you started frantically running around shops. I was going to ask, what were you shopping for? But you just answered that.
Let's just say I am not going to try and face no free boss DKC without any form of AoE healing.
It's a very good point.
When I was thinking he was on the moon.
Well, as long as it works 2/3 of the time, it works 100% of the time.
Rydia was our white mage for the seed. Or Sid. Your choice.
Taking a gamble with Azure is always a thing, though I think that didn't play out too well for Ryvon.
Oh no.
I mean, Shara did fine.
Yeah, she showed up. And
She showed up. She had a great face. It was great.
Just the sort of things.
She pulled it off when it mattered.
So how relieved were both of you to find DKC where you found him?
Pretty happy, especially considering the gamble I made of, I randomly found this earth crystal. I guess I won't check the other 4 bosses that are here.
Yeah, I had felt, I really lucked into that Earth Crystal, because that being the first chest that I had actually done. I was just looking for XP, I wasn't really looking for anything else. I'm like, oh, surprise Earth Crystal. Well, that's another boss check unlocked to me, but I'm going to check the rest of the moon first. I feel pretty behind with that miss save, miss reset I had done earlier, so I don't want to leave anything on the moon to chance. A whole lot of nothing for the most part. A little more XP, a second adamant, which is kind of nice behind that Jimmy and Vinny chest. But I'm like, okay, well, if it's not behind that, then I certainly lost. But no one's finished yet, so maybe it is behind that, and there it was.
Yeah. I managed to essentially last location the Darkness Crystal, because turns out I didn't exactly come up with a great way of 3-manning Sylph Trap chests fast.
Yeah, it was a little difficult. I mean, if you had Bahamut, it wasn't too bad, I suppose.
I had Bahamut, but Edge and Kane do not an anchor make.
They do not, but they, at least whoever happens to be wearing the adamant, will probably be fine against any of those trap chests. And in my case, I had the adamant on Kane. He was able to throw hourglasses to stop them, pick up Rydia if she happened to die, and get through it with Titan. I never picked up Bahamut, however.
There were a million glass hats in every sort of zonk. Oh, go up ordeals? Let's see what it is. Glass hat and gold. No. Go down Luca? Let's see what that is. Oh, it's a glass hat.
I mean, they're pretty nice hats, you have to admit.
They're stylish hats. Very well. They do a great job protecting you.
I mean, you had Edward in the seed. I mean, it's telling you something.
I was all excited to get that Edward too with a spoon. I'm like, he's going to do some nasty thing to Z, and then he dies at the first Big Bang. About like 30 HP.
I saw the Edward when I have Sylph left. Edward, you have a spoon, but you can take a nap. I just then used or Battle Speed 4 with Bahamut and Edward Anchor for Sylph. Then I went to the moon and found Sid, and just Edward worked as an anchor. Sid had Artie.
Looks like you found Sid before I did. For the most part, Sid was the last character I found.
He was also the last character I found.
Yeah, both of you found Sid about the same time.
Yeah, the diverging usages of Sid. One for the anchor and one for potion duty exclusively.
A little bit of minor DPS with that Artie bow as well. Sid's a very versatile old man.
I mean, against Z, Sid was doing more damage than double longsword Edge. I did not find weapons for Edge despite doing all of the earth trap chests.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of hoping for. I was running around with Edge with a boomerang for the majority of the seed, and I'm like, eventually, like I've done a lot of these tournament 1 flags for the upcoming Admin Cup, which has T Wildish trap chests, and I seem to get Masamune and Murasame's quite often whenever I do those seeds. Today, though, not so much. So I was kind of banking on that happening, and when it didn't happen, I'm like, okay, time to raise about 216,000 gil for a couple Masamunes.
The 99 iron arrows at the start did not exactly fund much.
No, but the 99 Zeus Rages sure did.
Yeah, I would assume those 99 Zeus Rages sparked some joy.
Well, now we're armed for Odin.
Well, a little disappointing though. Walking up, I'm like, I got 99 Zeus Rages. I'm going to go up Hobbs. I'm going to get another character. I'm going to get like 5k XP on Iridia. Oh, it's Elements. It's Mylon Z. He's going to absorb the lightning. So never mind. Let me go to Antlion instead. Oh, it's Mylon Z. Yes, I'll just jump with a spear.
I had bought a defense sword, I think was in Baron Castle, so I was jumping with defense sword.
Guess you found 98k pretty early then.
Well, I did sell 85 Zeus Rages.
That made up for it, I'm sure.
Yeah, tier 2 J items sell for a decent amount, even on sell quarter.
But yeah, fun little seed.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have anything else for our runners tonight before we let them go?
Not that. I think it's pretty much covered from head to toe. I think we're good.
In that case, we'll be done here. But the Free Enterprise is not done tonight.
Oh, can I say something? Hello.
And Skull Kitty will be joining us in the booth for the
surprise
before we head out.
I just wanted to thank everyone who participated in Enterprise Legacy, both this season and the past season. I know Zoe, and then kind of also me, and also Leggy Starshin was also involved. Like, we all had a lot of fun putting work into this. It was really cool to see where people took the flag sets every week, and, you know, to play some interesting games with the meta objectives. So I just really wanted to just do a quick little thank you to everyone who enjoyed this, either participating in the races, either watching the races, watching later on YouTube. Just thank you all, you know. It's always a little bittersweet when we close out a club, so I want to at least thank everybody. Anyway, I will leave it all back to y'all.
Yep, just want to say that I really appreciate both Scala and Zoe for running Legacy this particular season. It was a great club. I'm going to miss it. Wish there'd be a season 3, but I understand that it's time to move on to different things. But again, thanks y'all, and thanks Dave, Deathlake for the commentary, Dubword for tracking, and Scala, of course, for rolling this fantastic seed.
And thank you to both you, Rybon, and Judge Joe for agreeing to be restreamed.
Yeah. Thanks, it was lots of fun.
We couldn't have asked for a better ending. Thank you all so much.
So now we'll be heading over to Leggy Starshin. Yeah, Step Lively, sorry. I got Leggy from you saying Leggy. We'll be heading over to see Step Lively, who is doing Advent Cup async. So anyone looking to run async NPT XMM will want to head out now to not be spoiled by the seed.
Yeah, please don't spoil the results of this race or spoil their race because they're competing. So
Yes, don't spoil the race for yourself. Don't spoil the async for yourself or this race for Step, or you will get the bonk, and Scala is right here to administer it. Coming up on the Free Enterprise channel, we do have our Friday Night Community Race, which will be a reprise of All About Adamants.
I'm adamant we are about to move out really soon.
One for the road, nice.